Hey, it's Griffin, and today I'm talking about how to take good pictures of drawings. So, I've seen people who can spend an hour on a drawing. They go to take a picture of it real quick at the end, and they're casting a shadow over the drawing. I'm thinking, if you spent so long on this drawing, why not take a few extra minutes to move to a different place where you're going to get a better picture with better lighting? Uh, you know, this is something you can fix super easily to always get good quality pictures of your drawings, and you should never have to have a bad picture again. In this 10-minute video, I'll be telling you how to get a perfect picture of a drawing. Now, even in this stock photo I found off Google Images, look at the guy casting a shadow over the piece of paper. This is super easy to not do, but you have to think to not do it. And here's an example of a bad picture of a drawing. You can see I'm casting a shadow over it at the top. You can still see the table around the drawing. And also the white of the paper is not bright white. It's kind of a little dark and yellow, right? So how can I fix that? Well, I can crop it, straighten it out, right? Then I still have that dark yellow. I can add a little brightness. Now it looks pretty good. So here was my process. Just fixing a bad picture can be done. But I could have also just taken a better picture to begin with, right? So the first thing to do is get even lighting. Move somewhere else so you aren't casting a shadow. If you're near a window, you might need to move away from it. You might need to turn some lights on and off. Light goes in a direction and so does your shadow. So if your shadow is over the paper, maybe you just need to turn in a different direction. This is pretty easy to figure out on your own. There's not really a science to it as much as don't put a shadow over the paper, right? But there's more to this. I can put the shadow right off the paper, like here I have it on the wood floor, and I can just crop it out. I just cropped it and I used the straightening tool. This is the horizontal tilt, and that fixed it so that the right side of the image isn't bigger than the left side of the image. These are the basic crop tools, right? This is how you crop and straighten. A lot of people know how to crop. You just drag a rectangle and it cuts the image down to that rectangle. But the tilt perspective is super useful if you realize your photo's not straight up and down or straight sideways, right? And then from there, you have these adjustments you can make when you edit a photo after you take it, right? And this can get your photo looking perfect if you just mess around with each one. There's 15 of these on an iPhone. You don't need to know what they all do, but in testing any one of them out, you can see what they do, right? So here's another drawing I did. This is my girlfriend playing with my dog, and it looks kind of gray in the first photo, and there's kind of a shadow at the bottom. But I was able to brighten it up. Now the paper white looks white, the line art looks nice and black. So what did I do to get a picture like this? How did I fix the brightness? There's these settings: brilliance, contrast, and definition, and these change how different the lights and darks look from each other. Brilliance will smooth out a photo so you can barely see any shadows that were there. Contrast and definition really split the light and the dark apart and make them stronger. Now you can also change how extreme the maximum light and dark will look with exposure, and black point. And you can change the light or dark section of a picture, just the whole light section or the whole dark section with the highlights and shadows. You don't really need to know all of these by name or anything like that. You just test them out, see how they affect your photo, and you're golden. Here I used brilliance to get rid of that shadow at the bottom and smooth it out. I used contrast to get the bright whites and the dark blacks, and I used exposure also to get the white extra bright. You can just try different settings to see what works best, right? And there are a few settings in that that aren't brightness. There's color settings. And you're like, okay, why would I need to mess with color for a black and white drawing? That's because your lighting may not actually be white light. It could be orange light or blue light. A lot of times when you're indoors, the light will look orange. It's nice mood lighting. Like a sunset is orange. If you're in a hospital setting or something, the light can even be blue. And that's color temperature, right? So you can fix color temperature with this warmth setting. Say it looks way too orange. Just take out some of the orange. Add in a little blue. There's also this tint setting, which goes from green to pink. This one's a lot more subtle, but you realize that photos you take indoors can also end up green, and you want to add a little pink. So, again, indoor pictures, usually too warm, usually too green. So you turn down the warmth and you add some pink. Now, here's a drawing I made years ago, and I don't have it anymore. I can't take a better picture of it, but we can still fix it with the editing settings. So here, I haven't cropped it. I'm casting a shadow over the paper, and it's gray and orange instead of white. So what can I do? I can crop it and straighten it. I can use that brilliance setting to even it out. And then, it still looks pretty kind of dark orange. So let's add some warmth, or let's add some brightness, right? And then let's tone down that warmth, and we get a nice paper white, right? So to review, taking a good picture of a drawing, get even lighting, crop it and straighten it, adjust the brightness, then lastly adjust the color. And with this, you should never have to take a bad picture of a drawing again. You know, all your pictures are going to be good quality, and you'll have all your pictures on your phone so that you never lose a drawing, or you're like, oh, I wish I took a better picture of it. It's as simple as this. Anyways, I'm hoping that we can make some cool drawings in the next week, and thank you for watching.